Hi, beautiful brave hearts. It's Lorraine here, and I've got Sandra May, and we are here to do the Perfect Day Lifestyle and Nutrition live Q&A. Sandra's going to be helping letting us know when there's questions that pop up, and yeah, we'll both be answering and helping you understand this Perfect Day lifestyle.
Hello, Braveheart Nation. Glad to be here to support Dr. Detox and Lorraine. So let's dive in.
All right. Let's go to the next slide. It's not working. Let's go that way. Oh no, there we are. Perfect. Okay, so the first pillar of the Perfect Day lifestyle is the whole plant-based keto diet schedule, and that is basically coming back to what Mother Nature gave us, right? And you want to be doing baby steps in the right direction. Most of us can't. No, let's rephrase. Nobody can digest dairy, wheat, corn, processed packaged stuff, um, you know, stuff that they're calling food. We can't process it. We can't digest it properly without the body pulling from reserves. And even then, it's only very little of what that is that actually serves the body. So we have to get back to what Mother Nature gave us, which is raw, fresh fruits and vegetables. When we look at fruits and vegetables, they still have life force. Life force is the energy or the frequency in it. You know, it when it starts wilting, you know that life force is starting to go away. When you can source your plant-based foods from like the markets, you know that those farmers have just picked that the day before. The enzymes that carrot or tomato or whatever it is that you're getting from the farmer, they don't get produced until that final little bit of ripening on the vine or in the ground, wherever it's coming from. So when you're buying from a grocery store and they had to send it from Mexico or California, they pick the fruit and vegetables early and then they transport it so it's still kind of hard so it doesn't get bruised, and then it gets put through a process to quickly ripen it. And unfortunately, that process does not allow the enzymes to form. So when you're eating fruits and vegetables like that, they don't have the enzymes for our body to be able to break them down. And then we don't digest them either. So you've really got to be careful and do the best that you can. Take the best care that you can to feed your body the way that as close to nature as you can. Sandra, do you want to add anything?
Absolutely. I had a question come in today from a consult client says, why do I have to eat fresh and raw? It's because of that it's jam-packed with nutrients. If we're getting it quick enough, right? And if we do have the opportunity to get it right from the farm or right from a farmer's market, then we know there's still tons of nutrition and information in it. When it's had to be transported all the way from Mexico, all over the US or all the way up to Canada, right? Just like you said, it's missing those nutrients that came in right as it ripened on the vine, and it's almost tired, right? It's almost dead in a sense by the time it gets to us. So let's do our best to eat it as fresh as possible and as live as possible. This is nature's gift to us, is what's in that plant, and it's what's came from the sun, it's what's come from the earth that it's grown in, and that's the way we're supposed to bring it into our bodies.
Yeah, just think of the Garden of Eden, really. You know, that's what we're supposed to be living like. You know, go step outside. I mean, here in Canada in winter, that's not a possibility. But And then we have to rely on either places that are doing inside um, uh, producing. I remember I lived in the Bragg Creek area, and there was a farmer, and he had a Quonset that he had grown his tomatoes in, and we could just go and pick tomatoes and any time of the year, so there's that kind of thing available too. But for most of us, especially city dwellers, we do rely on what's coming in to the grocery store. So pick doing the best that you can. Go good, better, best. If I can't get to the farmers market because they don't have that, we don't have those farmers markets right now, then the best thing that I can do is source out organic at least, right? And that may be coming from Mexico, but at least it's organically grown, because anything else has the herbicides, pesticides on it, which are a deterrent for our bodies. And the glyphosate really plays havoc in our digestion. It does. What it actually does to insects is it explodes their stomach, and you gotta kind of wonder, okay, if it's exploding a stomach of an insect to get rid of the insect, what is it doing to me, right? The same thing. The same thing. Only we're bigger, so we can take a little bit more. But still, I don't want that. And it's being used very widespread. So we're getting it even on the organic stuff. So you got to choose your battles, right? Pick the best that you can and do the best that you can for it. If I'm not buying raw organically, then I'm going to make sure I soak them in structured water with some baking soda. And because I'll do the best that I can, right? So if that's what I can do, then that's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. And a kind of a current trend that's really fun is all the people that are learning to grow food at home. Even if you have just a small little deck like I've got, you've got some space that sun can get on some plants. And there's lots of people that are learning just to grow food in their house all year round. So jump on that bandwagon. And like you said, good, better, or best, and do the best that you can for yourself. And sometimes that's going to mean growing it yourself, right?
I remember having a chat with a gentleman, and he was selling these little micro growers, and he was sprouting. And he said just having mung beans sprouted every single day changed his health. And that was just a little thing that he put on his kitchen table. So when we look at the energy or vibration of fruits and vegetables, fruits typically have more energy or vibration than vegetables do, but we need the grounding of the vegetables too. But when we look at sprouts, they're the babies. They are jumping for joy. They have so much energy to give us. So anytime we can incorporate some sprouts in our smoothies, or sprouts in our salads, or just chowing down on some sprouts, I mean, we just bumped it up a few notches. Right, Sandra?
That's right. Yeah. And you know what? We've already got questions flying in. So thank you, Braveheart Nation. You're Johnny on the spot. Okay. Leonard is asking, Lorraine, when it's fresh and raw, is it easier to digest?
Yes, it is. It is. And like I said, if you sourced it from the farmer who just picked it yesterday, then it's got the enzymes in it for our bodies to digest them. Yeah. If it was sourced out of a grocery store and it's organic, it was probably picked early, even the organic ones. So it doesn't have all the enzymes. So that's where, digestive enzymes would come in. So Digest Complete, if it's winter time and you're buying produce, make sure you're taking the Digest Complete. It's going to help with the digestive system, right? And for sure, if you're eating meat, then you need the FibroClear.
Absolutely. Okay. And you know what? That reminds me that talking about growing food at home in the space that you've got, we've paired up with a really great organization called Food Forest Abundance. Jim Gale is their main source. He's the guy in charge, and his team has the resources to put together a little plan for you about where you're at and what you can do and how you can blend things together. And I do believe they put together a free consultation for you. So definitely look on Braveheart Nation, go to the store and go to docofdetox.com for links to find Food Forest Abundance with Jim Gale.
And there is Lindsay, and I forget what her last name is right now, but she's part of Food Forest Abundance, and she's here in Calgary.
Right.
And when we did the lectures in April, she came to the first one, and she's willing to help anybody in Canada, anywhere. She was down in the States the last time I saw a little clip come up about her. But she's willing to go anywhere and help people source and map out what they want in their backyard. Or maybe you've got a sunroom. You know, and you wanna have some tropical stuff. I don't know. But yes, checking out Jim Gale, because I'm sure he would have her contact information there. Unfortunately, I don't think I have it. Unless I've got it in my purse.
We will find it, and we will get it posted in the comments for sure, everybody.
Yes.
And it is Jim Gale Food Forest Abundance. Someone put in a different names. Yeah, Food Forest Abundance. Another question, same gentleman. Lorraine, should I be eating strictly raw until my gut inflammation is gone?
You know what? If you're just starting out, it's best to do baby steps, because if you're going from cooked food right into raw, some people will have a hard time digesting it because you're just not used to your body's not used to working to get what it needs. It's just kind of getting it. Not at a good value, because anytime that you cook something, you diminish the life force. And at the end of the day, here's the clencher. At the end of the day, the only thing your body hangs on to is the vibration or the frequency that you brought into it. So whether that was through the food, the water, the exercises, the nutraceuticals, you know, it only hangs on to the frequency or vibration. Everything else is excreted. So a lot of people think that if they're having one good bowel movement a day, they're doing good. But they've eaten 3 meals and a couple of snacks. Where did all the rest of it go? You know, if you ate 3 meals and 2 snacks and you put it all in a pile, what would that look like? I mean, that should be maybe a little bit compressed because some of the moisture is coming out and your body's using that. But you should have almost that amount coming out the other end.
Yep, absolutely. And so when you say baby steps to make changes, I think it's really going to help the body, isn't it, Lorraine? Because just like when we stop eating meat, the body stops making those enzymes, even though they weren't making enough. The body stops making those enzymes to digest the meat. So just like we're going to step into the fresh and raw, let's baby step into it, and the body will learn which enzymes that it needs to produce to consume the food that we're eating on a regular basis. So I think that's fabulous, Lorraine.
Yeah, exactly. Any other questions there?
Just a beautiful comment. And you don't want to engage suffering. Be gentle to yourself.
That's right. Honor your body where you're at. That's what we need to do. You know, we've come so accustomed to numbing our bodies out and not listening to that GPS, which is a little sign that something's not quite right. And that could be just feeling bloated 20 minutes, a half hour after we've eaten, and we think that's normal. It's not normal. It's a sign that things are taking too long to transition through the digestive tract. So you're starting to putrefy whatever it is that you put in there. So not only do you want to make sure that you're eating good, whole, plant-based, but you've got a food combine right too. You know, you've got to chew your food right. You've got to be in a good frame of mind when you're eating. You've got to give thanks, you know, to the hands that sowed those seeds, to the bees that pollinated, to the Mother Nature for the water that came down, you know, the little creepy crawlers in the dirt that are supporting whatever's growing. You know, we've got to really come back to feeling that the nourishment we are getting there was a lot of work behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when we choose our meal, let's choose an appropriate amount of food, because even if we're eating a nice big huge bowl of wonderful food, it's too much for your stomach. So we need to be choosing the right portion amount so we're not overloading our body. Even really great ingredients going in will putrefy and make a problem coming out. And let's start that digestion in the mouth. Let's get lots of chewing done. Let's let the saliva in our mouth start that digestion process, so that the process starts here, and we make sure that it's broken down into really small bits, right? Braveheart Nation, you remember what Dr. Dara Wolf says: drink your solids and chew your liquids, so that we make sure by the time it gets to the stomach and large intestine, it's in those itty bitty bits. It's got lots of surface area for your digestive enzymes to attach to and do their job.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said to preparing your meals yourself, because think about when you were little and you went to grandma's house for Christmas dinner, and you've been there every Christmas for the last 10 years, and you just know there's going to be something there that you just love that grandma makes. Well, the day before, you're thinking about that. The hours before, you're thinking about that. And that is spurring on your digestion for whatever that is. And the fact that you know it was made with love, you know, especially for this gathering, that brings another level of digestion. And then when you get to her house and you open the door and you can smell it outside her house, you can smell that, you know, so you haven't even tasted or seen or anything, and you're preparing your body for eating this meal. That's why it's so important to, you know, get your kids to help chop up things, help with chores in the kitchen as we get these meals ready. So moms, you know, teach your kids how they can, you know, wash carrots, how they can help even at a young age. There are things that they can be doing. Or, you know, you might have to do a little bit after they've done it, but still get them helping out.
So back to Leonard, another comment. Yes, I have gas and bloating no matter what I eat or how much.
Then I would definitely be doing the black gold, because the black gold is all about the digestive tract. It takes about 2 days to transition through the digestive tract. It doesn't enter into the rest of the body. While it's there, it is feeding the good bacteria that's in the gut. And that is going to help, right? When the good bacteria comes up, the bad bacteria goes down. It actually gets rid of viruses, bad bacteria, fungus, parasites. It grabs onto heavy metals and escorts it out the body. It's going to balance your hormones, balance your metabolism. If you need to gain weight, it'll help you gain weight. If you need to lose weight, it's going to help you lose weight. And I think that's about it. Oh, no, I said that already. I think that's about it. But
Wonderful.
that is probably one of the things that you need to be doing on a regular basis. And for me, it's kind of sandy. The way I like to use it is by putting it in my smoothie. And start with 1 teaspoon when you first start and work your way up to a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons a day. And another thing it does, it repairs the gut lining. That was the thing that I forgot. Yeah.
Wonderful. And then
And
just
then,
back when you were talking about the smell and sensing it before you even got there and then reacting to it, his comment was, yes, like a Pavlovian dog. And I think this speaks to our emotional reaction and the body's programmed response to the food, right? So we know that sometimes it's hard to give up the foods that are overloading our system because we're so used to that full feeling, meaning, hey, I've gathered with the family and everyone's here and we've overeaten. So we just need to take time and be kind to ourselves to change these habits, observe them, use our 12 loving steps to simply observe how you're reacting so that you can understand those underlying reactions, right? It doesn't mean that you love your food, even though you think that's it. It's you love the feelings that you experienced when you had the food or who you were with when you had the food. So we can still love the interaction, but we just need to lovingly observe our reactions so that we can say, okay, I know I've had lovely meals with my family that I love, but I can't eat like that anymore. And I need to work on changing that. So just lovingly observe yourself and go in and use those 12 loving steps to start to change those habits.
yeah. And for Leonard, you could be doing some baking soda and water when you feel that bloating. If you've taken digestive enzymes before you started eating, and a half hour after you feel bloated, you could take some more. There's no downside to taking more. When I'm working with people, I will help them, if they can, do like a body sway test to see how many of these digestive enzymes or how many of whatever they're taking. But not everybody can do that because most of us are pretty numbed out. So yeah, but definitely take more digestive enzymes as soon as you feel that bloat, because that's going to take it down. And I would be mixing some baking soda and water. You can look into the hydrochloric acid tablets that you can get to, just to kind of bring that fire down, because obviously there's something going on there.
Wonderful. Thanks. Yeah. Leonard just described what he's on and that maybe he'll increase the amounts of black gold. So yeah, he's thankful. He's okay. I will try that for sure. So that's wonderful. Thanks, Leonard,
Awesome.
for interacting. We really appreciate keeping it real here.
Maybe I'll see what the next slide says.
Sounds good.
Or maybe not.
Yep.
Nothing.
Welcome.
Let's try that one. Nothing. I don't know.
Okay.
We're stuck.
Magic man in behind the scenes. Can you?
Wait. Aha. There we go.
Go. Schedule.
Okay. Can you see it, Sandra?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, good. All right. So one of the things you can be doing to help your body is hydrate as soon as you wake up, right? So getting up in the morning, warm to hot water. Warm to hot water is going to help get rid of the mucus, the extra mucus in any of the tubes in our body. We get extra mucus in our body when there's inflammation, when there's infection, when there's an infestation, because your body's trying to protect whatever tube that is. So warm water will help to diminish that. And then that tube, whichever tube it is going to function better. So warm to hot water, always, always, always. A lot of people will, for sure, you want to structure the water. So if you've got a portable structure water unit, if you don't have it and you live close to a mountain, you can harvest your own spring water, which is structured water. And you want to be drinking that warm, hot water all day. You want to, if you're a man, generally you need probably about 4 liters or 4 quarts of structured water a day. Your daily cleansing tea, your herbal teas both count towards that. You want to get about half of your water intake done by the time you break your fast. So one of the things that we recommend, we highly recommend, is intermittent fasting. So with intermittent fasting, you're going to start eating somewhere around 11 and then finish eating around 5 or 6, so you can get 15 or 16 hours with no food. And the reason we suggest that is so that when you're eating 3 meals a day and a couple of snacks, even if they're healthy, you're using about 70% of the body's energy on digesting. That only leaves 30% for all the other stuff it needs to do. And in the world that we're in right now, we're so bombarded with toxins, our body can't keep up anyways. So let's try and give it the energy it needs to do all the other stuff. So that's why we want to do the intermittent fasting. So you want to drink half of your water by the time you start eating. So if you're a gentleman, the average gentleman would need about 4 liters, 4 quarts of structured hot to warm water. And for women, the average woman would need about 3 liters, 3 quarts of structured hot water. And if you've got the PowerCell water system, then, I've been using that and I have noticed that actually my bowel movements are getting different. They always float now, and I used to have some that would go down, but now they always float. So to me, that means, it's got the extra hydrogen in there, it's oxygenated is what it is. So, and when we can oxygenate our cells, all of our cells get healthy. When you have free radicals, in order to neutralize a free radical, what we need, the only difference between a free radical and a healthy cell is 1 oxygen. So when we can do something like the hydrogen water, we're doing a good thing for our body.
Wonderful. Well, that was really timely because a question came in about the water and the cell power. So do you boil the water first or do you structure it first? And this is from Sonia, by the way. Yeah, so she's just trying to figure out how to put everything together in the right way using the cell power.
So I'll structure the water first, and I'll take it straight from the tap. So I structure warm, hot, more to the hot side because that's just the way I like it, into my my vessel, and then I set it for the 6 minutes. And you get to, on the top of it, there is, I'm going to grab it because I got it right here. On the top of it, there is, on this here, I don't know if you can see it. Not really, it's starting up. Wait. Okay, so you probably can't see it, but it says, number 1 is energy, number 2 is recovery, and the third one is Illuma Vitae. And so if I want to add energy into the water, I'm going to select number 1. If I just worked out or I'm just feeling exhausted and I feel like I need a pickup, then I'm going to do number 2. And the third one, from what I understand, is more about helping you relax and settle. And then on the bottom here, this is where you pick what the timing. So the first timing is 3 minutes. It's coming up. Yeah, 3 minutes. And then the next one is the 6 minute. And that's what Dr. I forget what her first name is, said that you need for this size. And then when you hit it twice, it shows a little looks like a flower with a bunch of different colors on here. And you can actually choose, like right now it's the multicolor that's coming through. I don't know if you can see it, kind of. Or you can change it to different colors. Now, I don't have any water in here because I just drank it before we started. And then it takes 6 minutes, and each of the different colors puts a new vibration, different vibration in there. So quite often I'll pick one, and every once in a while I'll do the full spectrum.
Wonderful. Yeah, we're pretty excited about this hydrogen unit. It's coming out of Europe, but it is made this Illuminati company, is high class, high standards. So these units, as long as we take care of them really well, and clean them according the way it should be, they're going to last a long time. So we're really excited that Dr. Derawolf has brought this in so that we can offer this to our clients as well.
Yeah. And I consider myself fairly healthy. I don't have any aches or pains. And I've noticed a difference. My sleep quality, my energy, like I said, I'm playing with it. I'm selecting energy when I think I need energy, and then just noticing how my body is feeling with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good. Thank you. Yeah. Sonia says, thank you. Okay. Question coming in from Kelly. Do you have to drink the water in a certain amount of time? And can you pour into a glass container afterwards, after you're done the cycle?
You do want to pour it into a glass container afterwards. They recommend not drinking from these. And yes, you pretty much want to drink it right away. Really, I think this is only about maybe 12 ounces. 10. What do you think?
10 ounces. Yeah, they said it's 10 ounces, which is easy to drink in a short period of time. We leave it sit open in a glass. The hydrogen is pretty much the smallest molecule known to man. So it's going to very quickly just move off into the ether, right? Yeah. So do you try to drink that fairly short order? Yeah, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and it's easy to do. It's easy to drink the 10 ounces. Yeah. And then if you are doing the power water, that would be the water with the Black Diamond, or maybe the Tummy Love, or maybe the Humic and Fulvic. The Black Diamond is the smallest molecule one, and it actually crosses the blood-brain barrier. So it works, all of them work in the bloodstream. And then the Black Diamond, small enough to cross that blood-brain barrier, to do its beautiful work in the brain too. So the Black Diamond, just like the Humic black powder, black gold, it gets rid of viruses, bad bacteria, fungus, parasites. It grabs onto 600 times its weight in heavy metals, encapsulates it, and sends it out the body. It balances hormones, balances metabolism. It's going to help you gain weight, lose weight. It's going to deliver micro-available nutrition to the cells. So the cells actually expand better and contract better. So when they expand, they're pulling in nutrition, and when they contract, they're pushing out waste. So they're actually functioning better. The reason that's my go-to. I used to do Humic and Fulvic, and before that, I was just doing Tummy Love when I first started. But when we were introduced to this one, and because it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and I'm living in a city where there's chemtrails, a lot of pollution from cars, that's aluminum. So if we want to get rid of the aluminum that's settling in our brain so we don't get Alzheimer's, then the Black Diamond is the one to go to. Mercury is another heavy metal that settles in the brain, and it can be passed on in generations. So even from what I understand, 7 generations. So we want to make sure that we're doing something on a regular basis to help to detoxify the body and the brain. And that would be the Black Diamond. Do you want to add anything?
So Kelly is asking, does it structure the water? And I'll tell you what, Kelly, I'm always going to use my structure unit first, because this is the unit that I had confidence in first. So I'm always going to put my water through this. And so it's going into the unit structured. And then Leonard is also saying, I have a Kangen water unit. It makes hydrogen water. Is this the same as your power unit? No, it's not the same unit. And I think there's differing opinions whether Kangen water is really making hydrogen water, but that's a pretty much of a science conversation. So I'll check my notes within the team at the cell power unit and get better versed on that. I do believe the answer is no, but that again, that's a really techie science question for us there.
From what I understand is that the Kangen water helps the body to begin with. And then just like anything else, the body gets, it'll hit a point where it flips and now it's no longer serving you. Matter of fact, it's causing problems. And that's the way I understand the Kangen water. And that's why people have success to begin with, and then something happens.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Kathy, what will get lead out of the brain? Black diamond? Question mark.
You bet. You bet. Lead is a heavy metal. Yeah. And it'll get parasites and fungus, and because we've got them. If we're living, breathing, we need a little bit in our body because that serves us, but we don't need a ton. And unfortunately, in this world that we're living in, we got tons. So it needs to be something done on a daily basis. This is not something that you do for a few weeks, once or twice a year.
Wonderful. Okay, Sharon is asking, if I use black diamond, do I still need black gold?
Yes, you do, because the black gold works in the digestive tract. It doesn't enter the rest of the body. It's too big of a molecule. The black diamond works in the bloodstream and crosses over the blood-brain barrier. So yes, you need both.
Wonderful. Okay. Oh, there's a lovely comment from a Donna. Lorraine, I had honeysuckle tea I made this morning and making me some soft white pine tea right now. That sounds lovely. And that reminds me of how I've recently changed up my water. I'll do 1 liter with 1/8 of a teaspoon of black diamond. I'll do 1 liter with a teaspoon of humic, and I'll do 1 liter with a teaspoon of tummy love. And then I'm using super cinnamon. I'm maybe sometimes putting in a little sliver of an actual lemon that's either been soaked in structured water or it's organic. And my body's loving the variety, right? Instead of just drinking the same thing all the time, no, not even a flavor. My body got bored of it, Lorraine. So yeah. My body's really loving the mixture that I'm giving it now.
You bet. Anytime that you can add a little bit of something to your water to make it more, I mean, the essential oils that you can ingest, like even peppermint, lemon, the lemon lift, the orange burst, the super cinnamon, and even frankincense. I don't typically add that one to my water, but the other ones I do. And when we look at essential oils, their vibration or frequency is high. It's so high. And that's why it makes it power water when you add the nutraceuticals in. The black diamond is a very high vibrational thing. That's why when you put it in the water, you don't stir it. You let it do its own thing. And it just does this twirling dance and completely mixes in with the water.
Great. Okay, Kelly is saying now, do you put black gold in water?
You can if that's the way you want to take it. You know, the big thing with the black gold is you need to get it in your body. So I remember having a conversation with one of my consults, and she couldn't drink it. She couldn't put it in anything. And she asked if she could encapsulate it. And I said, by all means do. By all means do, because the thing is, you need it in your body. You know, so however you're going to take it. So if mixing it with water and you don't mind stirring it up and drinking the sludge, you're good.
Yeah. Or if you're struggling to let go of the coffee habit, you can throw a teaspoon of black gold in with your grinds, your coffee grinds, and it's going to go through that filter. So then you're not going to get the bits in your water, but you're going to be drinking the coffee in a less acidic fashion. So that's an excellent option. Otherwise, I love putting it in homemade soups. I've got a good healthy salad that I like eating at about 1. And so I will mix it right in with that, but it's certainly not black gold sitting on top of lettuce. It's mixed in with something so that I'm not actually crunching the black gold. It's a flavor enhancer. I love telling people about that. It's not going to mess with the flavor. When you do mix it into those soups, it might discolor it a little bit. It might make it a little bit gray. But when you put that spoonful of butternut squash homemade soup in your mouth, you're not going to argue with the color because that flavor is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, because it does enhance the flavor of anything you're putting it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Lisa, I've been drinking it for 6 years. It's amazing. First time I heard what you ladies were sharing about the Kangen water. Would love to see where you ladies got that information from. Yeah, we will definitely find some resources for you. And also reach out to Dr. Jared Wolf. He's pretty educated about so many different things. And this is, like you said, the Kangen water will help to start with. And then something happens in the body needs something different, but we don't quite know. And we keep giving it the same thing and it just doesn't work anymore.
Well, I think it's kind of like anything, you know, our body, variety is the spice of life, right? And when we're giving our body things that are helping, even yeah, I just think your body gets to a point where it says, I can't do it anymore. You can't give me this. And now it's become toxic. Kind of like Lugo's iodine, right? You can take that, but if you take too much, it's going to be toxic in the body. Or maybe if you take it for too long, it'll be toxic in the body. And that's one of the blessings that we have. Our iodine is non-toxic at any level.
Wonderful. Okay. Kathy, can it be put in coffee? We just addressed that. Leonard, I put black gold in smoothies. Excellent option. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next screen here.
Sounds good.
Okay. So 11 o'clock, your berry blender drink. And when you're making a blender drink, you've got to hone it back a bit. I remember when I first started doing smoothies, I was putting everything but the kitchen sink in there. I mean, they were all really, really, really healthy, like ashwagandha, reishi, hemp hearts, chia seed, protein powder, greens, berries, banana. And I thought, you know, this is going to be great. And it didn't taste very good, I'll have to tell you. But I drank it anyways because I knew it had all this good stuff in it. But then I would feel that bloating afterwards. And I just thought, well, that's normal, right? That's just normal. It was cold, right? I don't know. That was my thinking back then. But now I know that anytime you feel that bloating gassiness, it's because something isn't digesting properly. So when we're doing a smoothie, 5 ingredients only, 1 protein, not a whole bunch of proteins. You know, we've got to honor these beautiful bodies. We've got to understand that more isn't necessarily a good thing. So hone it down, bring it to 5 ingredients. If you're using an alternative milk, make sure there's no carrageenan or added sugar into it. Carrageenan is an emulsifier, but it's also carcinogenic. So when we are on the perfect day protocol, we don't want to be bringing in anything that is going to be a deterrent, because we're already at a point where we're struggling and the body has issues. So we want to be able to unload the issues. And if we're bringing in more issues, that's not getting, it's like taking one step forward and two steps back, or one step forward and one step back, and we just never get anywhere. Yeah. So for your protein source, it can be a plant-based protein powder. Again, you're going to make sure it's got no sugar added. Myself, I don't like stevia. I don't like the taste of it. It's too sweet for me. And there's a few other sugar alternatives that I don't like either. I'm kind of picky. So I always look for something that's sweetened naturally. But that's an option. A lot of people will go for stevia. And then your one protein powder, you don't want to be putting in free-range eggs, so raw free-range eggs, if you've put in protein powder, because now you've got two. You don't want to be putting in like an avocado if you've got protein powder or eggs in there, because then you'll have two. So you want to keep it really, really simple. Do you want to add anything, Sandra?
I was just checking a comment. One lady was just commenting back about the black diamond and the black gold. This is Bonanza. My mom has vascular dementia. Would giving her the black diamond or black gold help her? Absolutely, my love. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. We also have an ionic calcium called Alzagen. Yes, it is expensive, but it works. So after your 11 o'clock, you'll be drinking some more water. And then at 1, that's when you can have your first rainbow salad. And again, you're going to make it just one vegetable protein. If you're eating meat, then you're going to maybe lessen the amount of meat that you're eating. I remember, when I was on the regular kind of diet, bacon and eggs for breakfast, I probably did have a salad at lunch, but I would have had maybe a burger patty or something to go with it, because where's the protein, right? And then in the evening, I would make sure there was chicken and some steamed vegetables and a salad. But I definitely had that protein, that a heavy protein meat 3 times a day. So when you're used to doing that, you want to take the baby steps. So either lessen the amount or maybe don't have it for breakfast. And then do that for a week. And then see how you're feeling. And then don't have it for lunch. And do that for a week or 2 and see how you're feeling. And then finally get rid of that last one. Because as we age, we cannot digest meat. It's like one of those things. It served us when we were young and when we were actually growing. And now we can't break it down properly, and then we get fibrin masses, tumors, fibroids. That's what the meat ends up becoming, even for our type O blood types. Because again, we could eat pretty much anything when we were young and be fine. And then as soon as we're probably past that 30, 35 and going that way, we start to run into trouble. So coming back to that plant-based protein is the way to do it. Back to the Garden of Eden. They weren't hunting. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to stop. Just signaling to let you know. Amy, what about vegan meat to eat or for salads?
Vegan meat is processed. So what have they put in there? Did you know that there is over 4,000 chemicals on the GRAS list? Now, the GRAS list is generally recognized as safe. It's all chemicals, and they can put it in anything and not listed on the label because it's generally recognized as safe. And they've never been tested together with any other of the chemicals. And Coca-Cola was the first company that came out with the Bliss Point. The Bliss Point heightened all 5 senses beyond natural using chemicals. And since then, everything processed packaged has to hit the Bliss Point. And unfortunately, that would include your plant-based meat alternative. What I would do if I were you and I wanted to have a plant-based burger, I would find a recipe and I'd make it myself because I don't trust what people are doing unless it's my mom or my sister and I know what she's put in there and she's sworn on a Bible. No, I wouldn't get her to do that. But I just don't trust. I don't trust it anymore. I just don't trust it. No, there's so many things. And especially when you look at what is on the label, if you can't understand what one of those words are, I'm not buying it. I'm not putting that in my body.
Yeah. Leonard's commenting, geez, now I'll be thinking about that next medium rare strip loin steak I have, right? And also remember, it's a logical thought, but it doesn't always come across our mind. The everything that they pump into the animals that become our meat, that cow size, it's getting a cow sized dose of the antibiotic and whatever else, right? It is not dosed for our human body. And yet we're eating the tissue that had that huge dose of stuff going into it. So I thought, Daryl and Lori taught us that, of course. And I thought, now there's a piece of logic that never crossed my mind. So,
yeah. So we've got to start looking in every nook and cranny, because we are at a point where the world is that toxic. It's just that toxic. We're being bombarded. So how many times do you want to poison yourself throughout the day? And that's really the bottom line. How many times do you want to poison yourself throughout the day? How many times is it okay to poison yourself? I don't know. If I have a condition going on and I'm still poisoning myself, even if it's just a little bit, I'm not helping that condition. So if you've got a 20-foot hole, you need a 21-foot ladder. Otherwise, you're not getting out. So yeah, coming back to what Mother Nature gave us, it really is the best. You're going to find that, like I know a lot of people balk about buying organic. And then what happens is when you get organic compared to regular fruits and vegetables, the organic ones have more energy. They just do. They've been grown where someone has nurtured the ground. Somebody was so happy and so willing to take care of it in a natural way. So that plant was nurtured where the other plants were likely planted by a machine and the ground is getting Roundup and herbicides and pesticides and all that. I remember I went to a class where a farmer was teaching and he was talking about the energy in food. And then he went on to talk about he had 2 plots of land side by side, and one section of the land, he nurtured it. And the other one, he just left it the way it was. He planted the same crop in both. And he said a real interesting thing happened. The bugs only infested the crop that he hadn't nurtured. And I had an aha moment. It's like, oh my gosh, of course that would happen, right? Low vibrational bugs, low vibrational plants. So we wouldn't have to be using the herbicide, the pesticide, the all that sides if we nurtured the ground and we really took care of those plants and we did it. I mean, I remember talking to the farmer in Mexico where we got our fruits and vegetables from, and he had this big sack of dirt, and he was telling me, he says, well, you can tell when it's good. You just have to smell it. It smells different. You know, we've got to get back to that.
Absolutely. Well, Braveheart Nation, you guys are so interactive. This is really exciting. There's Amy saying, thank you. I will make my own vegan burgers from now on. And then Leonard with the amount of chemicals going into the cattle as, whoa, now that's a showstopper. So thank you, Braveheart Nation. You're there. You're asking your questions. You're taking your life back, and you're ready to step into the position to say, I'm in charge. I'm in charge. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch what I'm putting in here. So yes, let's keep going, Lorraine. We're on a roll.
Okay. So then at 1, that's when you have the beautiful rainbow salad. And here is where you want to look into your Perfect Day manual and really follow the food combining. You know, there's one page that has circles, and where the circles touch, those things combine well. And if they don't touch, like meat and potatoes, it doesn't combine well. So, Leonard, that could be part of the problem too. You got to combine your food properly. Not only do you have to chew it properly and source it properly and love it before it even got to your table and prepare it yourself so you can, you know, prepare your body for digesting whatever that is. You know, when you go through a fast food place, you haven't had any of the experiences. You haven't been able to smell those vegetables as you're cutting them. You know, that's one of the pleasures that I have when I'm making my salad. You know, I start cutting some cilantro. I love cilantro, and cilantro is really good for detoxifying the body. So if you're trying to detoxify the body, cilantro, parsley, those are 2 good ones to make sure you're throwing in. But I love the smell of it, and the smell of cucumbers, freshly cut, tomatoes, you know. These are the things that light me up, and they really do light me up. So, and don't always make the same salad. You know, don't make the boring, you know, tomatoes and onion and greens. Don't do it. You want to have the variety. You want to have that rainbow. And, you know, I always tell people it doesn't always have to be leafy greens either. You know, take a zucchini and spiralize it, and spiralize a carrot. And then I'll put in my NutriBullet, I'll put an onion, some garlic, an avocado, and a tomato, and I'll make my sauce. So now, and I'll put some Italian herbs in there and salt and pepper. And then I'll put that over my zucchini carrot spaghetti. You know, and just start inventing things that make you feel good. You know, to me, that's my Italian spaghetti and sauce, and I like it.
That's amazing. And somewhere in your calendar, you're going to find a way to make that recipe book, right? Because you've been studying
Yes.
food and taking care of people and making sure they've been getting good nutrients for years and years. So I quickly wrote that out, Glove. So that's what I'm going to be doing, buying a spiralizer and making my own homemade sauce. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and if you wanted to warm it up slightly, I mean, you could put it in a fry pan real quick, you know, just warm it. I like it the way it is. Or if you've got a Vitamix, you can make that sauce to a warm temperature. And then you're putting that on there. Because I know here in Canada, it can get pretty cold in the winter, but in the colder winters, we need to spice up the spices. And you'll find that those hot spices will keep you warm. So putting some ginger in there, putting some hot peppers in there, just figuring out how you can spice it up a little bit, because that's very warming for the body.
Wonderful.
And then we'll move to the next one.
Yeah, let's keep
Now
going.
that I've got it figured out. Oh no, that was backwards. There we go. There we go. I got it.
Leonard's loving all the help he's getting here. Leonard, you're a rock star asking all your questions.
That's good. That's good. So after your 1 o'clock rainbow salad, 2 hours later, if you're hungry, make yourself another smoothie. This is not about depriving the body. It's not about counting calories. It's not about, I mean, I get a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, that's a lot of fruit, right? I can't eat that much fruit. It's too much sugar. No, it's not. It's different. The sugar coming from fruit has, I believe, a right spin on it, and the sugar coming from sugar has a left spin on it. The left spin feeds the cancer cells. The right spin feeds our body. So yes, you can have fruit again. Yay.
And as you change your diet over to this fresh and raw, your body is going to get used to getting in the natural sugars instead of the processed sugars, and it's going to crave the fresh and raw. So just give yourself time, baby step into the protocols, just like Lorraine's advising, and your body's going to start to crave, hey, let's mix up that salad. Hey, let's shred those carrots. Let's spiralize that zucchini, because your body will just light up. And so your body will start to crave these foods. You just give it a little bit of time. It's not going to take months by any measure. Just start changing, and your body's going to start to recognize the different kinds of sugar. And all of a sudden, if you step back and you eat some of the processed sugars, your body just goes into high gear, and you're going to notice the difference yourself, right? Because just like Lorraine said, we're numbed out and we're not realizing what the foods are doing to our body. We're not realizing what the thoughts are doing to our body. And so as you make these changes, you're going to all of a sudden notice the difference when you go back to that old habit. And you're like, oh, no, the new way is much better. I'm going to stay on the new path.
Yeah, exactly. It makes a world of difference. I can go to a restaurant now and order a salad, and I can taste whether it's organic or not. It just doesn't have the flavors. And if their salad dressing is something that they've made, I might, I'll ask, was it homemade? What'd you put in it? Blah, blah, blah. But sometimes I can taste that sugar. And sugar in my mouth now, it burns. It burns. I don't know how else to explain it, but I can feel it here before it even gets anywhere else.
That's amazing. So there's a comment here, Lorraine. Sharon, Lorraine, can you repeat the sauce, please? What you put in the sauce for the zucchini and the carrots that are spiralized?
So I'll put an onion, a garlic, a tomato, and an avocado.
Italian herbs and salt.
Italian herbs, some salt and pepper. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Back.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're hungry, you can make yourself another blender drink. If you're not hungry and you need something that's going to pick you up, then, why not having some fresh carrot juice with maybe, I like ginger. I'm going to put ginger in it. Some people don't like ginger, and that's okay. But you can have carrot juice all by itself too. Carrot juice with maybe a little bit of lemon. If you're making your own juices, you want to make sure that it's 80% vegetable, 20% fruit. And then you can pretty much use any vegetable you like in there. Beet is really nice. For anyone who's not been doing juicing for a while, I would just recommend not putting too much beet in until your body gets used to it, because you could have a real beet flush happening.
There's a Christie's commenting same thing about the sugars. My mouth does the same thing with unnatural sugar. I can't explain it, but how my mouth feels, but it feels off and my saliva goes sour. That's when I know I've got some processed sugars.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sonia Harris. I don't know if you recognize that name, but she's a faithful Doc of Detoxer. She's been to the pelvic course in Florida. And I do believe she's got the New World Practitioner coming up sometime soon. Sonia says, should you eat according to your blood type? What are your feelings? And thank you.
Yes, that is a good way to do it. I still believe that, yes, we're a type O, but we still have influence from whatever, our parents, if one was an O and one was an A, there's still some influence in there. So I think there's still a little bit of leeway, but typically if you're blood type O, you're more O. And I think there's more O's in the world now than what there ever used to be. So that kind of leads me to think, okay, how does that happen? I don't know. So yes, it's a good place to start, but and then you can experiment with things on how your body reacts. Most people have, like I said earlier, we've numbed our bodies out, so we don't feel things anymore. We've got to come back to that feeling. And one of the good things you can be doing is the Lionheart breathing in the morning and night. You put your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your belly. Anytime you touch yourself, your thoughts go there. So you get better brain, heart, gut connection. You do that for 33 days and you've brought back that internal feeling, that gut feeling. So it's helping to wake up the natural intuition that you have. And then that overall feeling, understanding of what your body's going through. Because our body is always giving us a little hit, giving us a little tug, saying, oh, no, that wasn't right. That doesn't feel good. Something's going on, when we can really honor our bodies and feel our way through life, that's when we're going to flourish.
That was an interesting comment you said about the influence of our parents. So I'm wondering, and let's take that thought experiment and say, what if I'm a type O and somehow both my parents were A? Maybe that scientifically isn't possible, but just for explanation of an example, you got a certain emotional code from your parents and you got the same foods most likely from your parents over and over again. So that emotional imprint of that growing up period, like Lorraine said, is going to have an impact on your body. So that's the thought that I had when you said that. That was really interesting, Lorraine.
Yeah, it's more epigenetic than it is genetic, right? Yeah, we've got these seeds of whatever, but whether they flourish depends on the terrain. If my body is healthy, I'm not going to have that problem. I'm just not. And if my thoughts are, I remember, my mom passed away at 57. And she had breast cancer and it metastasized to bone cancer and she died within 4 years. And I remember, as I was getting a little older, thinking, I hope I pass 57, And when I was 36, I got diagnosed with cancer. And so I'm sure that thought had a lot to do with it. Like, I'm 100% sure.
Absolutely. So, I agree with you. My mom passed at the age of 47. And so the closer I got to that, the more it sort of started this different train of thought. And of course, I didn't come across Dr. Jerry Wolf until the what was it, 2017, 2018, 2019. And so thankfully, somewhere along the lines, I came across the information of watch your thoughts. It will create things. So thankfully, somewhere that wisdom came to me, and I knew enough to really sit in that fear and decide, you know what? I'm living my life, and mother led her life. And so I'm going to live long and hard and strong. And now that I've been educated by Dr. Jara Wolf and learning the 12 loving steps, she was a wonderful, absolutely angel. Everybody loved my mother, that's great. But guess what? She was the middle child, and she was one of 9, and basically the middle child. And from her siblings, from my aunt and uncle's reports, she tried to keep the peace the whole time. Now, if you've got 9 kids in a family, there's going to be some conflicts, right? And yet she spent her energy trying to keep the peace, trying to make everything wonderful. So think about how many times she dishonored something that she needed, that she put aside her needs, that she just tried to keep the peace so much. And she would be writing letters, because that was the thing in the day. They didn't spend long hours on the phone because of long distance. So she would be writing letters to family and trying to get everyone to make peace so that we could get together and have our summer picnic together. And you know what? Passing away from cancer at 47, unfortunately, we just didn't know this then. Is she dishonored herself? She held enough resentment maybe inside of her, but maybe she would have never have told anyone that, but dishonoring herself over that length of time would have put that emotional code in the body of corruption, conflict, right? So there's the consequence. So kind of ties back into what Dr. Jara Wolf says. If you're a nice guy, I don't want to talk to you, because you're dishonoring yourself all the time just to be a nice guy or girl.
Yeah. We really have to be careful with our thoughts. And more importantly, our words, because our thoughts carry vibration, but our words are so powerful, and our body loves the vibration of our words and always is saying, you got it right. So whatever you just said, you got it right. So really watch those words. Watch those words. We, that's why we've got these Love Band life bands. Start using them. It's a simple tool. When you stop and say 3, 2, 1, it brings you right back to the now. Right back to the now. That's what the military use. They get their soldiers to count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7. It's bringing their attention right back. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till the cows come home without thinking about it. But counting backwards, we have to stop and think. And that brings us right to the now. And that's where our power is. That's where we can make the decision to change what that thought was and speak a better word. And know also that the I am statements are even more powerful. So anytime you said I am, it better be positive. Yeah. Okay. Where were we?
We love talking the 12 living steps. Yeah. So you find the next page, and we could talk the emotional connection to the body all day long, couldn't we, Lorraine?
We could, because that really is the clincher that, Sandra and I counsel people all over the world. And the ones who get that emotional thing having to be addressed and really dive into those 12 loving steps, and maybe take it further and do the emotional intelligence masterclass. Those are the ones that make it. Those are the ones that get everything that they want. Because now they've got this understanding, inner standing. I'm going to correct myself. It's not an understanding, it's an inner standing. And that's what we need. Because when your thoughts aren't with what the body can do, the body's not going to do it. It's just not. And it's an inside job. Always has been, always will be. So how much inside work can you do?
Absolutely. So, you find the next page you want to go to, and I'll read this comment. It's beautiful. Christy, my last pregnancy I had co-joined twins. I wonder what spiritual meaning that brings. That's pretty deep. We would maybe chat with Dr. Dara Wolf about that one, but I carried them full term and the doctors couldn't believe I did. I took care of myself and kept my energy high, not even knowing that I had conjoined twins in me. Sadly, they passed after 4 days. Yeah. And 12 loving steps can lead you to the peace about any situation. It's not always that we can come up with a glib answer right away with these highly specific situations. But I can tell you from my own personal experience, I've had some traumatic things that have happened, and the 12 loving steps led me to finding peace in that situation. So definitely dive into the 12 loving steps, getting that love and forgiveness just amped up a little bit for you will allow you to be able to step aside, move into the observer position so that you can hear those belief systems that are in behind those sentences and those poor word choices that we're using. So
Yeah.
I'll let you go, Lorraine.
Yeah, exactly. So we must be coming to a close here. So
There we go.
God
We've had a
bless you
good
guys.
run.
We've got the Ixtapa Zihuatanejo, Mexico 5-star retreat and training center. So you can come stay, come play, come heal, come train, come something, and I can't see what that last one is. Thrive.
Live.
And I don't know about you, I'm done with surviving. I want thriving for the rest of my life with every breath. Let's just do it.
Let's get our Braveheart roar on. Let's take all these lessons from Dr. Dara Wolf. Let's step into that sovereign position that says, I'm smart enough to make decisions in my life. I'm going to review information. I'm going to sit back and think about it. And then I'm going to take action and I'm going to roar all day long. Yeah. So the bottom says, love, come stay, come play, come heal, come train so that you can thrive.
And remember, you can download the Ultimate Healing Guide that at pdgfree.com, where you can go through this beautiful book of over 40 years of Dr. Wolf's education, self-educating information on, just by treating people for over 40 years. This book, I have gotten so many people saying, OMG, if I would have known, now now you can become your own practitioner. You can get that light back into your body. Just go through the book, whether you're downloading it or you actually purchase it. I believe it's $95.
$90.
That includes the shipping.
Yeah.
So that's
for North America.
Yeah.
If you're international, we'll still need to put some international shipping on that. But yeah, North America.
But people are saying that everybody needs that in their living room where people breeze through things. Instead of watching the TV, their nose should be in the book.
Absolutely. One of Daryl's goals was make this beautiful enough to sit on your coffee table. And the tech team, along with Dr. Dara Wolf, certainly pulled that off. It's wonderful. And there's really lots of sections in there for application of it. Like what's an I protocol? What's a this protocol? And so much jam-packed information. He just sort of put it all together and then said, hey, let's give it away. Let's just give it away to the world. So that's our Dr. Dara Wolf. And we just love him to bits.
Yeah. So PDG Free is where you're going to find it, or in the DocaDetox.com store.
Absolutely.
And yes, we've got the 5-star healing and training retreat and worldwide. So if you can't come to Ixtapa, Mexico, we've got Dr. Sage, who will come anywhere. If you're solo by yourself, if you're a couple or a family, or maybe you're a clinic, he will go wherever you are and train you, teach you the whole life coach, the perfect day stuff, the non-surgical. If you're a couple, whatever you need, we're gonna wow you, whether you come to Ixtapa, Mexico, or whether someone comes to you. So in Ixtapa Zihuatanejo 5-star healing and training retreat, you could come for 7 or more days for a couples treatment and training, where we train both people to be able to work on each other, right? Or a 7-day personalized Wolf non-surgical training. And that's the body work, where we open up areas of crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue. Or a 12-day or more Wolf non-surgical certification, where you actually get certified to do the work, maybe for your friends and family first, or maybe you want to add it to the practice that you've already got going, or maybe you want to start a practice. There is the 7 days or more for athletes, and that's where you would come and learn how to take care of any athletic injuries. So maybe you're a personal trainer, or maybe you're a coach for a basketball team, something like that. The next one is a 7-day or more pain-free pelvic restoration. And that would be, a group of people, or maybe just a person who wants to learn how to take care of that beautiful pelvic area. And then the next one is the pain-free pelvic restoration and Wolf non-surgical. So now you'd be taught all the non-surgical things that you can do to help open up that pelvic area. And then the last one there is the 10-day or more pain-free pregnancy. And that would be for people who are considering becoming pregnant, or maybe people who have been told that they're infertile, or maybe you're pregnant already and you want to take action right now and change things so that you don't have any complications. What if you started 2 years before you decided to even have a baby, and you started looking at what you're bringing into the house, what you're eating, what kind of chemicals there are, how are you interacting with your spouse? How can you make that connection better? That's the kind of things that you're going to find in this pain-free pregnancy. At the Ixtapa Zihuatanejo Healing and Training Center, we will personalize any getaway for you. So you could have a relaxation getaway. Maybe you just want to go and, stay at the beach and ride some bicycles down the pathways. They've got amazing pathways, and just take in the sun, Or maybe you want to do an advanced water fast and you don't want to do it on your own. This is your opportunity to go somewhere beautiful, to have somebody map out exactly how you do that for you. Or maybe you want to do a juice fast. All of these things are at the DoD 5-star retreat, training and retreat center. And people are coming out of there saying, what a healing, what a holiday. And it is a beautiful place. They have outdone themselves.
And what if you are looking for the next best place to have a team building event? Head down, call Dr. Darragh-Wolfe, call the team, and set up something wonderful. There is accommodations close by, and there's accommodations located right on site. So they can tailor make your retreat down to the 5-star to look like whatever you need it to look like.
Yeah, exactly. So the Wolf non-surgical personal certification and treatment and training, that's where Dr. Sage Wolfe will come wherever you are. So you need to call 1-855-900-4544 extension 5. Or you can use the US direct number, or on WhatsApp, the 1-469-861-9454. So we will come to you worldwide to get this information out. We are so passionate about planting these seeds everywhere and throwing them all over everywhere so that they can flourish, so that you can flourish, so that you can be your own practitioner, so you can be the light for your family or your friends or whatever you want. I'm gonna let you take this one while I take a drink.
Right. Yeah, take a drink. So the next courses coming up are going to be in Stuart, Florida, starting on June 5th. Then in Coffs Harbour, Australia, New World Practitioner, August 7th. And then down to Ixtapa, Mexico, New World Practitioner on October 17th. So you know what lots of people have done from Canada, that they have traveled to Australia to take a course. Then they went to Ixtapa to have a course. And now this same practitioner is going to head back to Coffs Harbour and get her master practitioner in the exotic location in Coffs Harbour, Australia. So that's exciting. Let's choose our path. Let's choose what we want out of life. And if you want to really dig in and find yourself, sometimes we need to get away from the normal, and we need to get away from just even the regular society. Surround yourself in nature in Australia, or surround yourself in the tropical location in Ixtapa, Mexico, and that will just knock your socks off.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I've been to both, and I'll be heading to Stuart, Florida for the pelvic restoration and disease prevention masterclass. Actually, all three, and we've got one here in Calgary coming up the beginning of June.
Nice.
So Stuart, Florida, our host is Deb. One of the hosts is Deb and Dina, and you can contact them directly for maybe you need help finding accommodations or more information about the course. Definitely you can call the 855 number and talk to Dr. Wolf also. The Coffs Harbour is Tora, and her number is 610 and then 413-993-493. There's a lot of threes in there and a lot of nines. And then the last one is Ixtapa, Mexico, last one for the year. And that one you would phone and speak with Dr. Wolf. So the 855-900-4544, extension 5, or the US direct number if you're in the US, or on WhatsApp, you can be anywhere in the world, 1-469-861-8884. And just know that we have dropped our prices by about 30-40%, somewhere in there. If you are Canadian and you're taking one of these courses, you're paying in Canadian dollars. If you're US, you're paying in US dollars. If you're Australian, you're paying in Australian dollars. And, it's our pleasure to bring this information to the world. And we want to make it as easy as possible and as affordable as possible. So while other companies are bumping up their prices, ours are coming down.
And that's Dr. Darrell-Wolf's commitment to us. He knows what's going on out in the world. And he's like, listen, we cannot restrict people from getting in, diving into those belief systems and getting the knowledge that they want. So it's his commitment to absolutely everybody on this globe to make sure that they can still have access.
And then we've got the Day with the Doc here in Calgary on Sunday. That's only 4 days away. You need to give me a call, 403-605-9216, and I'll put you on the list for coming. It is a free lecture. Actually, we're asking for a donation. So bring your $5. You can stay from 9:30 till 5. And if you know Daryl, I think I might be surprised if we get out of there by 6. But we'll see. We'll see. That's a long day. So prepare to, bring some water, maybe something that you can, some kind of snacks. There are restaurants not too far from this location. So that's an option too. It's on Sunday from 9:30 till 5. And if you know Calgary, it is at Crescent Heights Community Center, not too far from 16th Avenue and Center Street. So either give me a call or you can go to braveheartnation.com and register there.
Absolutely. And Sherry's commenting she'd like information for Calgary pelvic course. So just use that same phone number for Lorraine and we'll get that posted in the comments as well. So that Sherry, you know who to contact for that pelvic course in Calgary.
There you go. Yes, 403-605-9216. I'll give you the dates and the location, and I will post it in the comments below.
So then we've got some lectures in Stuart, Florida, how to heal yourself and your family, a day with the doc, reverse the irreversible, and then a pelvic restoration lecture. So Stuart, Florida is going to get the gangbusters of information. And I also see Leonard. He's going to be in Stuart for both courses. So way to go, Leonard. No wonder you're such a brave heart. You've already signed up for the courses and you're there and you're soaking up the information. So we're super proud of you, Leonard, for showing up. Good job.
And then we have the Australia lectures. There's a reverse the irreversible, day with the doc, and the domino, sorry, which is a demo, effect of living. So lectures being held in Australia, all over the place in Australia. And more lectures, day with the doc, the domino effect of living, reverse the irreversible. And we just want to remind you again, the Ultimate Healing Guide, The Perfect Day Lifestyle. You can download it for free, pdgfree.com. All of this beautiful information at your fingertips on your screen, or you can purchase it at the Doc of Detox.
Wonderful. We've got some comments here. People are really strongly feeling urged to sign up. And so definitely call the 1-855 if you want, 1-855-900-4544, extension 0. Hit extension 5 and talk to Dr. Darrell Wolfe directly about that, or talk to him on his US number, 469-861-8884. And he'd love to see you there.
And just know that we would love to hear any of your testimonies. You can see the testimonies too at docofdetoxtestimonials.com. So if you've got a testimonial for us, please let us know. You can, I guess, I'm not even sure how they get it to us. Is it just email or call?
Yep, just shoot off an email. If you've got a testimonial, send it to support@docofdetox.com. And that is a website. I think if you type in that website, docofdetoxtestimonials.com, up top will be a form that you can fill in the information.
Okay. Thanks. I wasn't sure about that.
There's all the different places that you can find Dr. Darrell Wolfe on social media. The Doc of Detox Telegram channel, on Rumble, on Facebook, on Twitter or X, TikTok, Instagram, and he makes sure wherever he goes, wherever he's doing lectures, they are live. So it's great to meet in person. And when you can't be there in person, you might as well be there watching on the screen along with the rest of us.
Exactly. So, yep, always live. It's always very entertaining. And maybe that's the end. Wait. Aha. Okay. Pelvic restoration for men and women with Dr. Darrell Wolfe and myself. It is with Dr. Wolfe and myself, it's every other Monday. And then the other Monday, I'm going to have Deb from Stuart, Florida, up until the courses start in Stuart. And then after that, Cheryl from California is going to be helping me out on the other days. And then we've got the sovereign Indigenous information here. You can go to bhnuniversity.com and find out more information on how you can get your doctorate or your Indigenous practitioner medicine, no, Indigenous medicine. Yes, that one. And then just know that we've got our beautiful app coming up. We are getting so excited. The stuff that we're hearing right now is just lighting everybody up here at the Doc of Detox. We are so excited to bring this to the world, and to hear about all the people that are going to be affiliated with us through this Be Braveheart Nation app. So it's coming out, I believe, in August. Did we hear August? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's coming out soon. And we're very excited to bring this to you. That's where you're going to be able to go on and maybe search out recipes, maybe search out some yoga, maybe search out meditation, some emotional healing. There's going to be everything that's going to support you in getting a healthy, vibrant life.
I've had a sneak peek and it's looking gorgeous. It looks like Daryl just took his magic and put it everywhere. So there's going to be all sorts of videos there for you to watch. If you're just starting out and you want to get on the perfect day, you can track your progress. It's always really good to calendar track. So now we can do it on the app and we can see, oh, if I drank this much water and I drank this, the next day, what did I pass for stool? So you're going to be able to do absolutely everything you need to do on the app that's related to Doc of Detox. So like Lorraine said, we're getting pretty excited about this app and it looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, there you go, people. The only permanent healthcare is your self-care. The only permanent love is self-love. And where else are you going to learn how to do it except with Doc of Detox and Dr. Daryl Wolfe? Certainly changed both yours and my life, hasn't it, love?
No kidding. No kidding. I don't recognize who I was before. I just don't recognize that.
Yeah. And I feel I've always had this inclination that the answers were on the inside. And now because of the 12 living steps, here we go. I am ready to rise. I'm ready to fly. First, love yourself. So it is an absolutely amazing adventure. I'm glad I signed on the dotted line, even though I never thought I'd be in the position to teach people. But here I am learning to fly, learning to first love myself. And now I get the opportunity to help teach other people how to step into that sovereign position and take control and power in their life and move their life in the way that they want to move it.
Exactly. I'm with you. I would have never thought that I would be where I am today back then. I could barely speak. So this stuff is transformational. It just is on all levels. And that's the missing thing. We all think that we can do one thing and that's going to change our life. That might change a bit, but it's still not going to make us so we're thriving. You want to thrive? Do all 4 of the pillars of the perfect day. We need all 4. We can't get away with just 1 or 2 or 3. And the one most people forget about is that emotional stuff, and it's the most powerful one. So together we are stronger. Together we are Braveheart Nation. I mean, this is what we're building here. We're building Braveheart Nation, and it's one step at a time. It's one hand, it's one hug, it's one love.
It's amazing. I'm seeing the comments and so many of the practitioners that are already trained are here listening. Like we said, Leonard is signed up for the courses already and ready to take that step forward. And so it certainly does feel like a Braveheart Nation watching these comments come in and interact with us. So we couldn't be happier. Let's see, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the Perfect Day Guide. that manual. It's over 500 pages, and the Healthy to 100. It's recently had some revisions, so that's pretty exciting. There's Dr. Jared Wolf's direct line, his extension 5 on the toll-free number. Extension 0 on the toll-free number is going to take you to customer service, and they'll be able to direct your call from there. Then we've got Braveheart, bhnuniversity.com for trainings and certification information. Your pdgfree.com is your link to get the Perfect Day Manual downloaded. Then the Healthy to 100, like we mentioned, is the book that's written by Dr. Jared Wolf, and it's had a few revisions lately, so that's pretty exciting. Then we've got the Sovereign Indigenous Protection. That information's located at practitionerprotection.com. Then we've got DOD5star.com for the Doc Detox 5-Star Retreat Center in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo.
And the Healthy to 100, if you wanted to download that, you can download that from the library. So you go to docofdetox.com/library, or you can go to docofdetoxlibrary.com. And Sandra, I'll let you say the Braveheart Oath.
Oh, you're sweet. Yes, this has changed everybody's lives. Braveheart Oath. Okay, everyone out there, let's join together, and our vibration will come together, and we'll be, maybe you'll help someone else. Maybe you'll have a neighbor that's a little bit grumpy, and maybe your good vibrations added into ours is going to go over and help your neighbor just right beside you. Nonetheless, it's going to help us to repeat these words. So the oath goes like this: I am loved. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will always trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I am love, I am healed, I am Braveheart.
Awesome. Gives me goosebumps every time. As soon as I hear I will always, and then it happens. I feel it. It's like, yeah. Love this. This was the most powerful thing I could have done to make the changes that I did. So hop on board, bring back that self-love. And really, these bodies are the most precious gift we have been given in this life. And we have numbed it out. We have quietened it. We have shushed it. We have pushed it down. We've neglected it. We've done everything to it. And it's our vehicle. It's how we're going to illuminate this world. Part of how we're going to illuminate this world. We need to take care of it. We need to trust it. We need to honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love this beautiful vehicle. A lot of people that I counsel can say they love who they are. Some people will say that they love what they do. Some people love the money that they make. But if you've got any issues happening in the body, you are not loving the body. I look at everything differently now. I look at everything differently. I'm seeing it with different eyes because I've got this self-love. And I can't express that enough. Get in. It's on the second page of the book. And put it on a sticky note. Put it in front of the mirror. Put it, if you've got a full-length mirror, go knee to that mirror. And hold the mirror on either side as if you're hugging the most precious gift you've been given. Because it is. I mean, moms, remember when you gave birth to that baby and you got to hold that baby. You remember how you felt about that baby. That's the feeling you need to bring into this beautiful body. And I think that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, Braveheart Nation, it's been an incredible experience. magic man behind the camera there. We're ready to roll. We're ready to rock it. So everyone out there, get your Braveheart roar on. We can do this. We can love ourselves steadily and steadily, more and more. So we've had a blast with you today. Going to sign off from Lorraine and Sandra and say, we'll meet you out there in the ether, vibing high.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
We've got this. We love you guys.
Welcome back, Bravehearts. This video is dedicated to the true caretakers of this planet, all the Braveheart women. It is entitled, I Am Woman. Let me just say this. I know that I am not a woman, but I want to tell you what I think about women. You are beautiful. You are smart, funny, kind, and you are unique. There will never be another like you. You are love and affection. You are never too much, but always enough. You are more precious than any diamond. You are the most amazing of all God's creations. You are worth more than you could ever imagine. Your value is more precious than all the earthly things. You are powerful. You are strong. You are more than capable of doing anything and being everything. So now, you must rise to take your place by taking back your feminine power. To do this, you must take massive action in finding true inner peace and totally accepting who you are, from the inside out and from the outside in. This is the most priceless gift that you can give to yourself. Feminine power is creation, courage, confidence, spirit, strength, sustenance, energy, and enthusiasm, and empathy. There is an old Eastern saying that when women are respected, gods make their home. Unless feminine respect is restored on this earthly plane, Earth will no longer be our home. Feminine energy must rise above masculine energy for balance to be restored on all levels. Women are not respected. Their power has been stripped from them, along with their health, from a healthcare system that does not care for women. For women to rise up, they must speak up. They must no longer shut up or be shut down. If we intend the world to wake up, to grow up, women must lead the way and return us to nature's way and universal law, leaving man-made rules behind. For 25,000 years, women embraced their feminine power, but 5,000 years ago, women's power began to be stripped away by male-dominated religious beliefs, and this brings me to today. To add fuel to the fire, men have lost their place a long time ago when they were no longer needed to protect their home against invaders or bring food home for the hunt. Look at the condition that the majority of families are in because men do not guard the home against corporations and systems that are tearing the family fabric apart on a physical, emotional, and spirit level. To this day, women are still not being respected and are being dominated by the male ego on an emotional and physical level, as you will soon see when we discuss the health care of women. Over this 5,000-year period, violence increased against women as their power was systematically taken from them, which to this day has not been restored. The male ego declared war 5,000 years ago on the power of the feminine, and it continues to this day, as we can see in politics, religion, and other man-made systems in society, such as the medical system. During this male-dominated period, myths were created and told in ways that emphasized the use of violence against women, which led to their loss of power personally and socially. The tipping point to discrediting women was the witch burnings. These women were not witches. They were the pillars of healing and nurturing for their communities. These female healers, with their spirited nature, strong connection to community, and protection of the common folk, became too popular, getting in the way of the great religious transformation. I prefer to call it the great hijacking of the spirit, of the female spirit. This so-called great transformation was nothing more than a power play of manipulation and degradation of the female population to make more room for the male ego. An example of this is, it wasn't until July 2nd of 1928 that women could even vote. And it wasn't until 1975 that a woman could open up a bank account in her own name, and a single woman still could not at this time. These man-made suppressive rules created a great cultural shift that the world has not yet recovered from. This is what happens when you break trust. And understand something, the only currency today that I believe in is trust, and trust needs to be earned. Understand something, this period in time broke the bond between the masculine and the feminine, and this bond is still broken today. This period caused the feminine and masculine energy to no longer be intertwined and harmonious with each other. Trust was broken. Manhood now stood for strength, power, and virility. Femininity was now redefined as beautiful, compliant, and sexually pursued. Our culture has taught us that if you want to be powerful, you must think like a man. Women must speak up. They must no longer shut up if we intend the world to grow up and heal from this imbalance. Women must turn their back on man-made rules and return to nature's law if we wish to have a healthy, balanced future. Women are the canary in the coal mine. As our external environment becomes more chaotic and toxic, more symptoms will arise within women, which the medical system conveniently labels as diseases. And seeing that the medical system is the delivery system for big pharma, every new ill gets a new pill until surgery becomes the cure. Profit before humanity will drive us to extinction. 5,000 years of this mentality has put a heavy toll emotionally and physically on humanity, as we see in all systems and sectors in what the majority blindly call civilization. There is nothing civilized about this society today. Absolutely. Almost nothing. This contamination of profit before people is found in all systems, but it is most prevalent in the medical system. This is evident when we look at how female medical health professionals and their female patients are not treated with respect, but rather mistreated, disrespected. Even to this day, female physicians continue to face a myriad of challenges in medicine from this manhandling indoctrination, ranging from implicit bias to gaps in payment and promotion to sexual harassment. So it's not surprising, though it's still appalling, that this continues today, even though equal numbers of men and women now graduate from medical school. Only a small fraction of female physicians become medical leaders. Currently, in the United States, only 3% of healthcare CEOs are women. 6% are department chairs. 9% are division chiefs. And 3% are serving as chief medical officers. Unless we come from a truthful and factual foundation of how the female body really works and what it really needs to be vibrantly healthy, this piggy bank mentality we call healthcare will become our greatest health crisis today, if it isn't already. Listen, the fact is, the medical system is the leading cause of death in North America. How can we support such a system and then blindly call it healthcare? It's sick care. Before we talk about all the unnecessary complications and surgeries that we set women up for to keep big pharma and the medical industry thriving, let's discuss what disease really is on a physical and emotional level. Let's first discuss health on the emotional level, because that's where everything starts and ends. What if we made women feel like they could never be enough, do enough, or be smart enough to look after themselves or their families? Oh, wait a minute. I think we have, haven't we? They have been made to feel responsible for the health and the well-being of all those in their family, and then suffer for anyone and everyone when they're sick, because that's the program. Most women, no matter how hard they try, do not understand what real health looks like, feels like, or tastes like. But this is not any fault of their own, because we have all been given a health manual of deception sprinkled with threads of truth to navigate our family's daily health. But women certainly know what guilt looks like and feels like. For no matter how they pour their hearts into their families, good health always seems to be just out of their reach. Whatever happened to self-healing? Whatever happened to self-love? What if women were given a health manual based on BS to look after their body? Yeah, BS, otherwise dysfunctional belief systems. Big Pharma, their family's health is contaminated with dysfunctional BS, and everything it touches becomes compromised and corrupted. Understand, you are the light that the world is searching for. You are the light for humankind. 3, 2, 1, unleash your feminine power.